Welcome to Africa Event Connect, where we explore the stories and strategies shaping Africa's business events industry. I'm your host, Projeni Pather, and today we're spotlighting a landmark event, the launch of Festival of Eventing. Happening 8th to 9th of August at Century City in Cape Town, this first of its kind gathering celebrates, equips, and energizes the entire eventing ecosystem, from suppliers to creatives and strategists to venue operators. Now, today, I'm thrilled to have two of the powerhouses behind the Festival of Eventing with me today, and that's Keshni Reddy, one of the festival's co-founders with 20 years of experience in the industry and currently the commercial head at Smart Procurement. And joining her, we have Amanda Bokleni, the brilliant mind curating the festival's content program. Now, Amanda is a strategist, a storyteller, and of course, an event leader whose work spans the continent. So ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. It's such a pleasure being with you here.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Wonderful.
Thank you. What an intro.
Feels so special.
So special. Lots to live up to there.
Yeah. Hey, no pressure.
Okay, let's get right into it, Kesh. Let's start at the beginning, right? Now, you've been at the forefront of large-scale events, and there's been so many years, and you've created so many things specifically for the eventing industry. We haven't had that, right? You've created in different industries. I mean, we've chatted about this. So what made you create something specifically for us this time?
Very simply, Proj, we decided to create something that we wished existed. Okay, the idea behind the festival literally came from a very casual conversation, catch up, speaking to co-founders Betty and Debbie, and we chatted around how cool would it be if there was an event that specifically spoke to us.
Right.
An event that spoke about event execution, an event that talked to what is the latest innovation and technology, an event that kind of spoke to our desire to constantly elevate our audience experience, and something that we could come into and see what was on offer and how we could implement it in our events, in our space. So I think our reality is that we work really siloed as an industry.
Yes.
And often it is a case of you don't know who you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know until you do. Right?
That is true.
And often, we all have this black book or our phone book on our phone, and it's the same suppliers and it's the same partners. And, ironically, even those partners, often we don't even understand the extent of their offering, right?
That's true.
Because when we go to them, we have a deadline, often a budget, and a very specific requirement, either from ourselves or the clients we're representing. And so with that, it's hard for them to show us exactly what they have to offer. So enter the Festival of Eventing. The idea behind it is really, so one, we're connecting people all the time as an industry. Let's connect with each other. Two, what is the latest? What does the future of eventing look like? And then three, when we started, the idea was let's bring global innovation into SA, into Africa. But actually, there's so much of African excellence. So the idea is let's put on show what is to offer. And let's make it an extravaganza.
That's brilliant. I mean, if I just think about how much we do as an industry, and sometimes we're so busy doing that we don't get to explore the possibilities, the endless possibilities there are for the different ways and different types of events that we want to execute. So I think it's exactly that. It's so thrilling for that. But besides that, I mean, what are your thoughts on bringing all these event providers together? Do you think thus far they've had enough mileage? Like, do they know enough people? Are their ecosystems big enough to give them enough work, or is there so much more for them to tap into?
So I'll speak for myself, and I'll assume that the same mindset applies to everybody else, because every one of us here are actually a perfect audience profile for the festival, right? My answer is no. We work I mean, you a lot of us are blessed with really good teams.
Yes.
We also work in teams where there's a lot of consultant networks, and you feel like the it's such a big circle and you know everybody. But kind of the more you know, the more you realize there is to know, right?
Yes.
And so outside of smart procurement, I started my consulting journey in the last 2 years. And I was really astounded to see how big this industry is outside of the space that I play in.
Really?
So I really do feel like, there's an opportunity for event owners and practitioners and the supplier network to connect with each other. And then there's also the audience that we don't even touch the surface with, right? That's the corporate and the government event practitioner network. And often we work often on a specific brief, on a specific deadline, budget, all of those things. But I think it's also important for people that play as event practitioners, but outside of the event management team space, to come and to see what can happen. What can it be beyond what I have on this checklist that I need to deliver on?
So who is it aimed at? Is it aimed at primarily event organizers then?
Everybody.
So let's break that down.
Yes.
When you say everybody, let's
Yes.
call them out, some of them.
Yes. So we've got we've got quite an extensive audience network, which includes the consultant network like myself,
Yeah.
event organizers like the likes of Smart Procurement and VUCA and DMG. And then we've also got event corporate teams from companies like Investec, like Santam, like DBSA. So it's quite a wide net. And then on the supplier side, it's literally such a mixed bag, right? So it's our tech and solutions providers, it's our stand building and infrastructure partners, it's our corporate gifting and photography partners. So it's quite a big and let's just say everybody could come in regardless of where you play in the space and what function. And like you rightly said, right, we kind of in the background trying to create the magic. Sadly, we rarely get to experience that magic.
True.
Right?
That is true.
And so when we see the pictures post the event, or when somebody calls us and tells us, this was amazing, I loved this and I loved that, often it's like, oh yeah, I remember we did that, but I didn't get to experience that. So here's an opportunity for us to be the guest, right? To go and to experience some of the magic that we create.
That is so true. That sounds so exciting. I mean, Amanda, you've been in this industry for a long time as well. Now, speaking not as a part of the team behind the event, but as an attendee, what would make you excited to attend this event?
So when I was approached for the program, I was like, you know what? Even if I wasn't the program manager, I would definitely have attended this festival because it sounds like a cure break that we need to get into, It's always about us doing what we do for the people, and never about us. So this is a platform where you actually get to experience what really the events industry is about. And it's like so holistic, it comes full cycle.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, talking about full circle, because you're in charge of the events content program, right? So let's talk about that vision for the content program. Like you said earlier to me, you've always been behind the scenes, and now it's a different perspective, I'm assuming, for you. What do you want the delegates to feel and learn and walk away with when they leave the festival?
So it's more about the experience, to experience whether it's the content or meeting the people, the right business people, whether you acquaintances or everybody. But what we are trying to say, we're trying to teach, but also we're trying to make it conversational and engaging, have something to live with.
So you're saying we're not going to be sitting down and just listening?
Not at all. So
that's very exciting.
We have different setups. We've got plenaries, and then we've got cycles. We've got tech and innovation. I mean, we're the Festival of Eventing. So we're bringing the tech and innovation, we're bringing health and safety. the buzzword sustainability, I mean, we use it all the time, but do we
course.
really know what it really means, you
Yes.
know? And we also have fireside chats where it's conversational, you know, audience gets to engage with the people on the panel.
So what's the difference between the fireside chat and the circle?
So on the circles, we've got 2 to 3 circle voices of what we call, and then a circle host. So they are bringing core conversations, not like a workshop, but what you need to know. But
Okay.
as much as you need to know, what's your input in it, you know? And then on the fireside chat, it's conversational. You know, it's easygoing. There's no script. There's no following, and it's just easygoing.
And when we talk about the topics at the festival, what does that range look like?
So when I started the program, I was like top tier, international and whatnot. But when I got to the crux of things, I was like, you know what? We in Africa ourselves, the Pan-African people, we have global standards ourselves, you know.
That's true.
We're looking, yes, we have our global international speakers, but also we have talent here. You know, why are we not showcasing also our own people?
Yes.
So what we did was to start with the internationals and also showcase what our Africans bring to the table. So we've got really cool tech people, innovative, you know. We've got even elegant experience that are bringing so much cool content that's coming up. You know, I think not to tell everybody or what's going to happen, but I think this is the show to come to. You know, we've got really, really cool people coming on board.
So it sounds, when I looked at the program, it's really a must-attend kind of program that everybody dreams of. I've traveled a lot and been to lots of event spaces and lots of event programs. And I must admit, when I saw this one, and Kesh knew as well, that I was trying to juggle the diary to get there. And now I'm going to be there.
Yay.
I'm
We
not-
cannot wait.
I'm not missing out on that program. What I really appreciate about the program is as well is that it's not featured only on South Africa. It's features the continent. Was there a definite focus to embrace that?
Yes, it was. Obviously, we're in Cape Town with South Africans, but also we wanted to bring a broader approach, you know, to the festival. This is a first of its kind. It's inaugural. What are we all about? You know, the intention of what we're about to do. So we actually wanted to do the big bang, you know, and in my invitations, I don't have anybody who said, no, I'm not interested. It was only, I'm not available, but this is such a cool concept. Please keep me in the loop for future, you know. But I had such a positive response, and yeah.
So who would you consider to be the keynote here then?
I think all 70 of them, to be honest.
So we have 70 speakers.
Yes, I've got 70 speakers. But if I have to pick my people, no offense to the others, I've got Ian Morrison, CEO of Imaginative Collaborative. He is based in Sydney, in Australia. And also Adam Perry from the Events News is a great editor based in the UK. I've got Dolly Gonji. She's a former president of Masmat. She's big on diversity and inclusion. I've got Yinka in Nigeria, also a heavyweight on the diversity and inclusion part. I've got, you know, Harry Hari, co-founder in DIO, DX5 by in Kenya. So I really have heavyweights.
That's
I've
brilliant.
also got Lon Solkas. You know, he's like... he calls himself a big cat guy. He's going to bring a very cool keynote. You know, he came from being in the wild, you know, being, your Kruger Nationals and stuff.
Right.
But he's now come on board into being with the people, the connections, and has become the international speaker. So that's also another cool guy that's coming.
Very exciting. Kesh, who are your favorites that you can't wait for on this program?
You name drop some of them, but I think for me, it's some of the unsung guys, right? So I have discovered that there's so much, like you say, there's so much of excellence amongst our midst, right? So we have local, without giving it away, because some of the speakers are also partners and will be showcasing their stuff. But I mean, we've got the likes of Enrico from Multimedia. We've got Lana Jackson from Event Options,
Okay.
and they, well, they are some of many, but they are solutions providers to international events, right? And we benchmark really well. And just to go back when you asked about when you made the comment around the event being holistic, like including Africa, not just South Africa, really the vision for it was, Cape Town. We selected that as the venue on purpose because Cape Town is regarded as Africa's event capital,
Yeah.
right? And if you look at events, like there's such a plethora of events, both in the B2B and B2C space
Right.
across the whole of Africa. There's a reality that South Africa is almost like a benchmark, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
a
true.
lot of our sister countries are also partnering with South African suppliers and South African players. And so we definitely saw the vision to create this community of collaboration, of mind sharing, and also just a space where everybody can come and not just find solutions, but also bring out what our challenges are.
Yes.
Right?
Address those.
What are the things that we are struggling with that we would like to see? And what are the solutions that we can create together?
That's lovely. I just love the fact that there's just so much heart in this program. It's not all about strategy and pleasing everybody, but it's about the heart of this industry and bringing that together to make sure that everybody walks away fulfilled. So that's really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to all the conversations and learning so much. I think it's going to be so much for everybody to take away, right?
Definitely.
So obviously, we talk about. Let's move on to all the partners that we have involved in this industry, and we know that an event is an isolation doesn't work. From the get-go, there's always it depends on partnerships. From the beginning, it requires collaboration, and it helps to bring the event to life, right? So if we talk about partnerships, Kesh, what do those mean to you for this event? Who are those partners that have come on board to make this event possible, to bring this event to life?
Yeah. To be honest, when we have this conversation, it makes me feel emotional even, right? Because when we started, it was just a cool idea, right? And then naturally you start going to your immediate network, right? And people that you believe might buy into the vision. And I must say, like, to date, I have not spoken to a single person that didn't say, this is amazing. It's exactly what we need and at exactly the right time, right? But we have some new partners. We've got some partners that have been supporting this for a while now, and then we've got our OG partners, right?
Yeah.
And I think I have to make mention to some of them. So our first stop was at the guys at Century City Conference Center.
Right.
And, we had been hosting some of our own events there, and just we were quite spiteful in choosing that venue because if you've been there, then you experience how it kind of sets itself apart from your typical venue, right? But also I know that the team there is so forward thinking and they are so switched on and committed to that level of excellence, right? That they invest a lot of time and travel to go out and also bring back from international benchmarking what they can incorporate at that venue. So our first stop was there, and we were like, guys, here's the idea. This is what we're thinking. What do you think? And they immediately came back and said, yes, this is something that we would love to support, we would love to get behind. And then slowly like that. So we've got obviously the city of Cape Town. And that again, it started with having a conversation with someone there in the events team. And, she also brought to the fore some of the challenges because if you're hosting an event in Cape Town, there's regulation that you need to follow. And sometimes the documents and the links and it doesn't connect you to a person, it creates a bit of, either getting stalled or you a bit, it makes the process a bit more daunting than it should be. So yeah, I think behind all the partnerships, definitely when I look at our partner list now, I can honestly say we didn't go on an expedition to collect logos, right? We were very honest and clear in terms of, this is a genuine intent. We are just ordinary people trying to do something extraordinary. And would you like to join us in year one as we launch it? And I think as the days get closer, it's almost like we've become this connected community now. We've got the team at Event Options. We've got the team at Business Matchmaking. We've got the Century City team. We've got the guys from Brand Avatar. I don't want to give away too much,
but there's so many.
but there's so many.
Yes.
And they are literally coming to us every day and saying, what about this? Let's do this. Another exciting thing is a lot of the partners are going to be launching new solutions and technology at the event, right? So like Amanda said, it's not just a show and tell. You're going to be able to come in and experience it firsthand. So yeah, really excited.
That's very, very exciting. Hey, Amanda, so what kind of partnerships did you find have benefited your role here?
I think I'll have to take it back to the co-founders, when they brought the concept to me.
Right.
I felt the heart, to it. And when it came to me, it's what I sent off to the speakers themselves. And it's the same feedback I received. Everyone on that program is very passionate about what they do and whatnot. So everything is really set to heart, Yeah,
I love that. I mean, it's just creating a space for that mutual benefit with your partners, giving them visibility, access, the credibility that goes with being associated with this event, I think is really, really important because it puts those partners on a pedestal, gives them access to the market as well. And it allows the market, I love the fact that you're talking about the new technology and new innovations that are going to be showcased. That's really, really exciting because most often we see the same things over and over again. But like in our conversation you mentioned last week, that it's so interesting to know that these partners can offer so much more, or suppliers can offer so much more than what we deem that they can offer. So we go for stand build, for example, but we don't realize there's so many other parts of that business, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think like the circle topics and like coming back to sustainability, right? That is it's a buzzword, but it's also, we never truly understand the extent of what it means for us, right? So like I've been a part of quite a few sustainability conferences in different sectors, right? And like you see it really big picture and like it's like you're getting it, and yes, it's a cause that's what we say, right? It's a good cause. But actually it should be an organizational mandate, right?
Yes.
And I mean, even if you look at the guys from the Event Greening Forum, John and team, and there's now a matrix where we can measure how green our event is. And not just for the sake of reporting, but to also understand beyond the event, how have I impacted the place and the people, right? Because it's not just about everything, having green products and green solutions. It's also about creating a circular economy and still